Desperate and urgent. That's the word from local animal shelter So Humane tonight as the agency tries to find a home for a special pup. The staff there says one dog in particular, Champ, who's been at the shelter way too long, needs a home soon. They say his mental state is starting to break down.
Some of them handle it very well and others just literally go insane.
And that's the fear for Champ, a 3-year-old pit mix who's been at the shelter since July. He was adopted for about 2 months, but brought back to the shelter for being too active.
He's big and he's strong. He's 95 pounds and he's just a large breed dog. He needs some training. We have one volunteer in particular who's been doing a lot of work with him on obedience training, but he still needs some work.
The staff has already seen negative changes in Champ, like spinning in his kennel due to stress. The lack of interest in Champ is not only taking a toll on him, but the staff as well.
He's a really sweet boy. He is a dog that I think has definitely been misunderstood. I think people see his size and they assume he's just a big scary dog, and he's not. It's really hard because I'm out in the kennels every single day. I see the stress that it takes on a lot of these animals. And Champ is one that I think has really kind of lost his mind.
So Humane is a no-kill shelter. The dogs are walked every day. They have play groups, get treats and toys. Volunteers sit with them. Some even read to them.
So we do everything we can to make it best case scenario for them, but at the end of the day, it's still a shelter. And for us to see one become so desperate to get out of here, it breaks our hearts.
Personality-wise, I think he's kind of mentally shut down. When he first arrived, he was this playful boy, got so excited to come out of his kennel, to play with other dogs, to go on walks. It's gotten to the point now where we are practically dragging him back to his kennel. I mean, he sits on the ground, he lays on the ground. I mean, it's practically impossible to pull a 95-pound dog back to his kennel.
On top of that, you could see, even feel his demeanor change when he was put back in his kennel. He seems to shut down. His eyes drop, his tail stops wagging, and he begins to whimper.
We don't see that big, happy, sweet boy that he was when he first arrived.
And if Champ were in any other shelter,
his time likely would have run out by now.
Saw his big lug head and just couldn't resist.
It was love at first sight, according to Christine Hendricks. She and her husband were already thinking about getting another dog for their existing pup, Zeke. Then she saw So Humane's plea online for Champ, the 3-year-old pit mix, who'd been at the shelter since July, and immediately talked to her husband.
He had seen the story also, the news story that you had done, and the night before he was already, oh, you need to just go get him, and they're closed right now. So I called him the next morning. It was like, I'm gonna go get him. And he was like, okay, do it.
Hendricks was first in line last Friday to adopt Champ and brought him home that afternoon.
I was expecting Champ to not maybe do as well in the house. I didn't know how long it had been since he'd been in a house environment. And he was beautiful, and we had to convince him that he was okay to come up on the couch and stuff because we allow that. And then once he figured that out, well, he just jumped right up and cuddled next to us, and he was good.
And now everyone couldn't be happier. Zeke and Champ get along great, constantly playing in the yard.
He's getting to be much more lovey-dovey, and he definitely likes his belly rubs, and just loves being outside here. He's a little afraid of the cows in the back pasture when we first got him, but now he kind of ignores them.
Well, So Humane says the Hendricks saved Champ's life. It's safe to say Champ has changed theirs too.
He has just made us happier and happier every day. We just fall more and more in love with him. He's been a great addition to the family.